Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, as you remember, we were going to take the 1968 Camaro on power tour. We really focused on the S10 a little bit too much to make that happen. Probably focusing more time on the Camaro probably would have been the smarter idea. But as you remember, the last time I was working on the Camaro, I did take off all the rockers loose, pulled the push rods, and checked every single lifter to make sure they weren't collapsed. They all checked out good. So also bear with me, this is the 4th of July. People are already starting shooting off fireworks. That is not gunfire in the background. But I have already lashed my valves, so I made sure all the lifters were all the way down. I tightened the rocker nut to 0 lash when the push rod stopped spinning, and then I gave it a 1/4 turn more to set the preload. Every cylinder is done. Now I'm going to be putting the intake on, and to do that I'm going to use this here Permatex Right Stuff silicone. I'm going to put that on the China wall back here and here, and then I'm going to be covering the cooling ports here to make sure that it doesn't leak. So I got my gaskets ready, got my intake on the table. Checking it as soon as I get the intake on. And now, just like that, the intake manifold is on. Next will be the water neck, carburetor, distributor. Turn the engine to top dead center so I can drop the distributor in. In case anybody was unaware, the early small block Chevys actually didn't have this center crank bolt. It was just open. The balancer back here is just a press on. You pretty much hammer it on, which is really the wrong way of doing it when you really care about your thrust bearing. But that's the only way to install this thing. I did drill this thing out and I did tap it, and I put a bolt in mine so it would never come loose. But when I turn the engine over, I generally use these bolts. There's 3 of them in here. I put a wrench on there and I turn it over, and they'll turn the engine over just fine. But I'm gonna be turning the engine over till I can find my timing pointer on here on this harmonic balancer, and I'm not sure I'm gonna do that today. It rained like cats and dogs earlier, nice storm, and it is very humid outside. I think I'm just gonna put the carburetor on so I can protect the intake. I'm just gonna put the hood back on. I think I'm done for the day. All right, I'm probably not gonna edit this video out until I have more content, so stay tuned. All right guys, it's the day after the 4th of July. I continue to work out here for just a little while longer, but the fireworks are just really so loud I couldn't record while I worked. But what I did do is I went ahead and I installed the distributor, and what I have here is a piece of a tool. This is an old distributor that I cut up, that I just kind of disassembled. This makes it really easy to put down that hole, and you can turn the drive shaft for the oil pump to align your distributor. If anybody's never seen, that's what the bottom of your distributor looks like. And inside there is a fork that kind of just, it meshes with that. So when this thing when the drive shaft turns, it turns the oil pump also. And if anybody didn't know, the crank turns the cam gear. The cam gear is attached to the back. There's a gear in the back here on the distributor, and the distributor goes down, and when the cam turns, it turns that in a direction, and that turns the oil pump, and that's what gives you the oil pressure. I went ahead and did a little bit of touch up on the paint. Makes it look a little better. And a little trick that I use for thermostats. Now I've seen a lot of guys who put the engine together, they go to start it up and go to break it in, and the thing is just getting hot. And one of the reasons why is, like, maybe under the thermostat housing there's an air bubble, and the air bubble has no liquid, so all it is just getting hot, and it won't open the thermostat. So a little trick is you could drill 1 or 2 or 3 holes. Like I drilled 3 on mine. You can put this in here and liquid will for sure go through there. I've seen people do a lot of crazy things. They got that funnel that goes on top of the radiator. They jack the front end way up and they try and get the air bubble to move. But if you just drill a hole right here, liquid is for sure going to flow through this and fill the thermostat housing. So that problem is now eliminated. If you ever heard of that trick before, maybe give me a comment below, see if you've ever tried that trick before. I've used it a few times and it works fantastically. Well, I'm going to continue to work and I'll keep you updated. All right, so this is Saturday morning. I don't know, either late morning, early afternoon, one of the two. And I'll tell you, it is hot out here. I probably won't be working on this too much longer. But what I'm doing today is I'm changing the spark plugs. What I'm using are these Excel header plugs. You see they're shorter, so it give me more room between when I get the spark plug boot on there and the header. I don't know, about a ½ inch difference. The reason I'm changing the spark plugs is I was having some major tuning issues. I don't know, if you look at it, there may be a problem. One of the other ones, like the electrode is completely burned off, and the contactor is completely gone. So I'm gonna change these. I'm opening the gap up to about 38 thousandths. So maybe a little bit cleaner spark out of it, more combustion. I'm not sure exactly what the compression ratio is on this engine. I did a compression calculator at one time and it said it was going to be like 9.43. I don't know, it could be higher. This is a Chevrolet 1968 307 V8. But the heads on it are actually the 416 HOs. 58cc combustion chamber, and I did have the valve switched out. The intake valve is now running a 194. So the original compression ratio was supposed to be like 8.6 to 1 with a 70cc combustion chamber and a 10 thousandths steel shimmed head gasket. I'm running a 40 thousandths compressed head gasket and a 58cc combustion chamber. So I'm thinking the pistons are also flat top. I'm thinking the compression is around 9.4, 9.5. It has the quad valve release. So anybody who's watching the video and done the compression ratio calculator, let me know if I'm wrong. But what I got was 9.43. All right, I'm gonna finish up putting these things in, and I may just tidy up. Go ahead and put the water pump pulley on and the belt on, and I might be done for the day. It is scorching hot. Maybe come out here in the morning before the sun really comes up. Maybe between 8 and 9 in the morning when it's a little cooler outside to work on this thing just a little bit more. All right, catch you then. All right, took a few hours, and probably about 2 days. I put brand new spark plugs in it, brand new spark wires, filled the radiator with coolant, and now she's running. Little tuning to the carburetor. We had to change the springs out and the metering rod. Oh yeah, listen to that. That's much better than it was before. So we got about 2 weeks for the Street Rod Nationals. So what we're gonna do is probably spend the next 2 weeks doing some body work with this thing. My trunk lid, I always wanted to replace it, but I think I'm just gonna sand it down to bare metal and work with what I got. I didn't really want to use the rear trunk spoiler on it, but the holes are already there. I think I'm just gonna have to put the spoiler back on. The tail pan is still orange. I'm gonna make the tail pan black. But yeah, she's ready to go. Running smooth too. Running very smooth. Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it.
I'm happy with it. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.